Everyone, my name is Mayhem, and I do games and other things too, but games for now. Hi, Lord Fish. Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate that. What I'm doing today is a vintage story. Now, a vintage story started out as a mod to Minecraft, and it got so involved and so detailed it took off and made a life of its own. And the original version, just a long ways, distance behind us, has a story, temporal stability and instability, and you know, drifters were the monsters, kind of like zombies, but they have since added different ways to play this game. One of the ways is through Explorer. Now, what I'm going to do, I have some mods on that I am using, and I will go in and make a video on how you download them and which ones I'm using. We can get rid of that, I think. Alright. Now, just basically to create a world, you just go through some steps. You go to single player, you go to create world, then you can have standard, exploration, wilderness survival, homo sapien, and a creative build, which means you can pretty much do anything. I can't remember. I'm going back to do the other part. Hang on a second. There it is. I can, I think, copy that, but I'd rather do everything where you can watch it. And I apologize if my speech is not real good. I had 14 teeth extracted last week, and I have to go in next week for them to check the surgery, and then they've already done the impressions for the full-fledged dentures. So I will be able to talk good like everybody else, but no, right now I can't talk really crap, so sorry about that. Okay, we are going to create Hypnotics Bohemia. And yes, there is a long story behind that, and I'll give it to you real quick here. Hypnotic was a streamer, a great streamer, and she was able to bring a lot of people together. And I mean, she had a passion for the game, and just an unquenchable light for this game. She passed away a few years ago in a boat accident. I have not played much of this since because it just wasn't the same. We were on a server called the Bohemian server, and she was the one that ran it. And I'm going to make her world for this. Now we're going to customize it. Things to where it's going to be fairly easy to be able to play without much of a problem. Enable true winners. I want true winners. Sand and gravel. I'm going to disable the cave-ins because that can be a real Well, no, let's go ahead and put them in. We can let lightning cause fires and have fires spread. That's bad. We are going to let ourselves take and make a water source. Okay, I'm going to bring our hit points to max. Health normal. Hunger rate normal. Lung capacity 60 minutes. I like to build a lot of things. Walking speed normal. Creatures are going to be a passive. Means they will not attack you unless you're right up in their face or you attack them. But I am also going to make them bigger and make them slower in water. Prospecting day, get it out to 8 blocks, which is the biggest range we have. Micro chisel blocks is going to be all. We have coordinates overlay. We got a world map, and you can make it color. Just project the current. Looking over, that's fine. I appreciate it. The current basic map is like an old style typography map. It's like 2 colors. I prefer the colored map because I can identify things much easier. And clutter objects. We'll go ahead and say you can remove them anytime. They're old furniture pieces and things like that that you can fix them. Here's the temporal stability part. It is out, storms are up, visibility or length is going to be much shorter. Of course, why am I putting much shorter? Just because it makes me feel better. Temporal rifts are invisible, infinite spawns, and we can sleep during storms. Here we are. World generation. The climate distribution. If it's realistic, it's going to be colder toward the north and hotter toward the equator, and there'll be larger areas of a specific biome. If I go with patchy, the biomes will be smaller and you will run into a vast majority of every possible type you can find. So that's what we're going to go with patchy. Now, land coverage is the amount of land that is covered by land. So it's going to be, we're going to set that to 50. So half of the world is land, half the world is water. Now, land coverage scaling, I'm going to put also at 50. It is kind of hard to understand and grasp these things. It determines how much ocean will be between pieces of land. 50 is fine, I think, because if you're walking around an island, you're going to see the very tips of other islands within range of view. So you don't have to necessarily set sail in a completely empty thing. Hey, Amp, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you. Upheaval. This has a tendency to generate hilly terrain, mountains, volcanoes. So I usually just leave it at 30. Geoactivity is hot springs, things of that nature. Landform scale. as principal mechanics by which terrain is shaped. So if you set it differently, you're going to have mountains right next to lakes. It's kind of chaotic, so I just leave it at 100. Now the world width comes standard at 1,000,000 blocks by 1,000,000 blocks. And one person on their own is absolutely not going to have enough time in their life to explore that. But that's okay. We'll leave it that way anyway. The world edge can be transversable, meaning that you can walk off the edge of the world. You know, flat earthers love that. But we're going to block it. All right. Polar equator distance. This is how far a player will have to walk to reach the equator, starting from a polar region. 50,000 is a pretty good amount. I'm not going to worry too much about the story structures. I'm just going to leave them as normal. They are not really driving what's going on in this particular playthrough. Now, the global temperature. You can make an ice ball, or you can make Hawaii. I'm going to go kind of between the two and just do hot. And with precipitation, we're going to make it humid. Okay, now here's one that is dying to be lowered. Forestation and shrubs. I usually just run it as normal, but that is a lot of shrubberies and bushes everywhere, and it really blocks your sight unless you get up on higher ground. But that's the way the game is meant to be played. So, now, this is however you want. Global deposit spawn rate. That is the effect of spawning all different ores in the game. And since you don't want to be having to rush around all over the planet looking for ore, we're going to make them abundant. Now, copper can be found on the surface. So we're going to put it as common. And tin is going to go as uncommon. Because you put copper with tin and you get bronze or whatever it is. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Snow and ice is enabled. And there's one more tab for it. Is multiplayer. Now I can make this server multiplayer anyway. Okay. And I probably will at some time. Normally, if you do that, you're going to build up a spawn area where players can greet and get used to the rules and get starting equipment and all that. And I'm going to probably work on that. But for now, I'm gonna leave this all alone. There's one thing right here. It says class exclusive recipes. And I'll explain that as I'm generating my character. And you probably noticed I did put a number in the world seed. And there's a reason for that. It is the same seed number that Hypnotic used to use all the time. And I liked it, so I use it. Alright, apply. Bohemian. Here we come. Create world. Ah, let there be light. And all that other crap. Alright. Yes, please, thank you. Hit that like button, and if you want to see more of my stuff, I'm going to start streaming a lot more often now. This loading sequence, it kind of tells you a story. It also lets you know if there's an error, and it creates a log for everything. Thank you, Teresa. That's so much. I appreciate that. And you guys are like, my streaming family. you're the family I get to pick. So that's kind of a good thing. This is, I would call this the adult version of Minecraft, but not in that way, if you know what I mean. You've got more farming, you've got different crops that take different elements out of the earth, so you have to rotate your crops through different fields. You can grow your forests, you can make mortar and bricks, glass, you have to blacksmith all your metal tools. Okay, I mean, as soon as I get in here, I'll turn the music down some. Thank you, Ann, for telling me. You can do clothing, armor. I mean, there's just so much you can do in this series. It's basically Minecraft 2. Call it that. It does take a little bit of work to see. There we go. All right, now this is where you can pick your character. Okay, you can click in here and move the mouse. You're left clicking to make it swivel and pivot and turn. You can decide what you're gonna wear as your basic all over clothes. The voices are instruments. A flute, harmonica, oboe, clarinet, drum, saxophone. Different versions. And you can make it very high, very low, anything in between. And if you don't want to make choices, you can do random. Now you also can change your skin color to whatever you want. And your eye color. Okay. Now, you can also do your hair color and certain styles. You can go bald. You can go balding. And you have hair extensions, which is the ponytail here, the neat braid. You can have a bun. You can, I think there's twin buns in here somewhere. Top knot, whatever. Facial, pencil mustache, sergeant's mustache, neat walrus, and a beard. So you can turn the beard off. Now there's one more feature in this. If you have played this game previously, and you want to keep going with the one you've got, just put last selected. And that is how I go. Now, we confirm the skin. These are the classes you can be. Commoner is just regular, anybody. Hunter is good with bows, obviously. And it gives you a list here of all the different factors. Malefactor is like a tank. Clockmaker is like an engineer. Blackguard is an elite warrior. Tailor makes clothes. But I'm going with commoner. That's what I always do. Confirm. And it puts us in the world before you do anything. This series, I'm going to change some settings. I actually do. Okay. All right, that should take care of that problem. If I still need to, hey, Ludi, it's great to see you in here. If the level of my voice is still too low, very low. Okay. Let me over here to OBS. Bring the mic up a little bit. Okay, how's that? Is that any better? Thank you, Amp. I appreciate that. All right, let's get back in here. Now, when you hit the escape key, it brings up your menu and it pauses the game. Sounds good. All right, excellent. Thank you. And there's this command here that you can open up your game to a LAN. So you can make a single player game into a multiplayer game, or you can just start the multiplayer game the way you want it and just add connections to it later. And every time you leave the world, you get a chance to save it. You cannot not save it. So, all right, now looking around, we got some trees and some dirt and some rocks and a little bit of lag and water. Now, the very first thing you want to do is open the map with the M key. And your cursor is right there, your little white token. If you can't find yourself, press space bar. It will center you on you. That's a very, very great little tip I learned the hard way early on. Now, if you right click on the map, you can add a waypoint. Always mark where you spawned in and pin it. And I used to use a 4-pointed star and make it bright green so I can see it. And then you save it. And now you have that on your map. Now, M can close the map again. And you still have your little mini map open in the upper right. And it gives you coordinates. Tells you which direction you're facing. The whole 9 yards. Now, this is a collect and build game. First thing you need is either hard stone or flint. Hello, Darlene. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. If you have an empty hand and you put your cursor on an item, you can right click and it will automatically collect it for you. Oh look, Mr. Bandit. You trash bandit, run away. Those guys like to eat the berries. And berries is like free food for you. So you don't really want them around much. Alright, now, if you've got your cursor selected on one of your hotbars and you right click an item, you can't pick it up. So go to the empty one and click. That's flint. And that's what we're going to use. The area we are in is claystone. Claystone is too soft of a material to make an effective tool. So we're going to do that. Now that's quartz. Here's if you don't listen to anything else I say, listen to this. Mark your map every time you find something. We're going to call this quartz. We aren't going to pin it. We're going to make it a white pickaxe. Now I know that's quartz. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've missed playing this game because our community broke apart when we lost Hippie, and I really want to get them going again. So everybody's being recruited. All right, different. There are trees. There's a pine tree. There's a birch tree. There's oaks. There's maples. There's giant redwoods. I mean, oh, there's so much in this game. It's crazy. There is copper. Look at that. Now, what you'll do with this, you can't really use it at this stage, but you can dig a hole. It's easier with a shovel. I don't have a shovel yet. Now, we're at that point where we can't dig anymore. You can only punch your way through dirt. Stand on that square, open your map, and click orange and a pickaxe. And it automatically tells you it's copper. Alright, and there's the claystone, but we really can't use it to make any tools. This stuff here is horsetail, and if you use horsetail along with the cat tails, you can make bandages as an early remedy. We have all kinds of flowers, and I mean, there's such a huge amount of stuff growing in this world. All right, now if I have the item in my hotbar or in my inventory and I have my cursor on an empty hotbar, I can click on it and it'll add it to the right place there. And yes, you can go in the water all the way and swim and swim. I have a 60-minute lung capacity in my hand, so yeah. Now, this is how you make things. You don't really have, you have a building menu, crafting menu, but you have to have the parts to use it. So what you do is you put your hot bar on the item you're going to use. You're going to hold shift, which is to kneel down, and you're going to right click on an empty space, and that places the object. You get to pick what you want to make out of it: arrowheads, axe, hoe, knife, shovel, a spearhead, and fishing hooks. Yes, there is massive amounts of fishing in this game. Right now I just need some knives, and this is how you build it. You've got a three-dimensional thing here. Well, actually this is two-dimensional. You just have to knock away the ones that are highlighted, and you don't have to do them all. If you just do the ones that are touching the part you want to keep, it's done. And I usually make 2 knives and an axe when I first start up, because I'm going to use them up quickly. And that's not because they're not very durable. It's just because that's what I do. All right. Now, E opens up your inventory. Put the knives there. Put the sticks there. And put the axe there. Come on. There it is. Okay. And we have a stick left over. How about? All right, now we're going to start collecting the things we need to start our empire. You can stack up to 64, just like anything. Some things are limited to 32, but you'll figure that out as you go. And but there's a huge community out there that has made so many apps. People have added gunpowder for, oh, I mean, there is gunpowder in the game, but they've made gunpowder. Hey, Shiggy Pie, I appreciate you coming by, man. There is gunpowder for mining explosives. Well, people have added flintlock guns and rifles and cannons. Yeah, there's boats. I mean, they've done everything you think of. All right. 1, 22, 23, 24, 5. And until recently, when you broke something, you had to wait half a second before it would even recognize that it's a thing you can pick up. Recently, with this patch, as a matter of fact, it just came out 1.22. There's no delay in when you pick up the items. There's my server. Okay. Turn too fast. Computer went into lag. All right. Come on. Now you can just harvest that, or you can also dig up the roots. Now, the roots are edible if you cook them. I don't take them for that purpose ever. I always leave them there. I might pick up some later and move them to wherever I want them, but there is so much food in this game, you really shouldn't get to the point where you're that desperate. Now, there are traders in this game. They are in little wagons, sporadically placed all over the world, and they use a currency called gears, rusty gears to be exact. Aren't you cutting? Oh, look at that. Okay, there's this thing at the bottom. It says, I cannot build or destroy here. It belongs to the trader. There is the trader. And this is something new that I have not seen before. It is a building the trader is in. And he has a megaphone and a board game, and you can open his door and you can interact with him, or her in this case. I don't remember what happened, and I'm not going to bore you with this particular thing. I'm going to go straight to the trade. This is what you can buy from the trader, and when you click on it, it tells you how much it costs. So that particular thing is 18 gears. Well, no, we don't have any gears. If we had a gold ingot, he would give us 4 gears to sell it to him. Yes, they are a rip-off, big time. But sometimes it's the only way you can do things, because everything is sporadically placed all over the world. You can generally do the makeup I did, and you won't have any problem as far as getting things. And of course you can hold down shift
That's sprinting. We've almost got enough. I can show you how to make your first other item that's not a tool. I mean, it kind of is a tool, but it isn't a tool. Okay, now we go E, and this is our inventory. Now we have 27 cattails, and right here is the easiest way to figure anything out. You put your cursor over an item, and you hit H for the handbook. A handbook covers everything in this game. It is a portable Wikipedia for this thing. Hi, Just Christian. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate that. I'm sorry if I'm missing everybody. I'm laser focused on the game. Of course, that's what I always do. But if you do that, and it brings up the item, cattails. It tells you how you can get them. You can harvest them from a plant. You can get them from a damaged reed basket. You can get them from destroying a beehive. And there are certain cracked vessels you can find them in. The cracked vessels are like in ruins. We haven't crossed that yet. Now it also tells you what they can be used for. Ingredients for all this stuff. Alright. The skeps are going to be important. The reed basket is going to, or reed chest is going to be important, and the reed basket is going to be important. And horsetails are going to be your good. Where's my word? For first aid bandages, and it tells you it takes 2 out of our stack to make one of these. So this is where you get your extra inventory spaces. There we go. Now we have 3 more spaces. And later on we can take these and cut them up. You eventually want to make leather backpacks. And you can make all the leather you want. Well, that's true. I do play golf a lot. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. All right. Lots and lots of gathering to be done. We have another copper here. Now, this is water. And it will tell you what kind of water it is. They do have different types of water here now. They have salt water and fresh water and fishes. I mean, they have just absolutely gone nuts with all of this stuff. Okay. Let's go ahead and make a show. And the way I'm doing these, I am holding down the left mouse button and moving my mouse along the parts. There's another way to do it. I don't particularly, care for it. Come on. And come on. And there's a shovel. Alright. Because it does a lot faster digging. And here we are. Now, I know this is copper. I don't know what kind it is. But it doesn't matter. I mean, any copper is copper. Alright, we got a map on where we are. And it's copper. And there we go. I will have a map full of these little markers before I'm done. And when you're in multiplayer, as far as I understand it, there is a way for you to see other people's marks. Oh no! A trash bandit. He died. Oh, she died. Excuse me. It looks crushed. That would probably could be because she fell from up there. No, not throwing my right. Give me my arm. You press Q and it throws things down. I actually did get something out of here. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Now, you can also get bones. Now, these are tiny bone fragments. And if you hit H, it'll tell you what you can use them in. You can grind them into bone meal and use it in planting. Although it's, not the greatest thing in the world. Okay. We're going overland a little bit here. Ooh. That's a wild blueberry bush. It's healthy and mature. But it's not ripe yet. And they have all these icons standard in the game. Berries. And I just picked the color so I know what's there. I mark everything. Even if you don't think you want to mark it. Mark it. To market, to buy that. No, I'm not going to do that. That's a maple tree. There are mushrooms. I know I have to be happy about that. And out of sticks. Okay. Now we got a stick. All right. Being up high gives you the advantage of looking down on things. So you can, hang on. You have to be very, very aware of sounds in this game. Because I don't know if you can hear it. I hear bees. And it's on my right side. So it's probably in this tree. Now, if I cut the tree down, I get to harvest part of that hive. But I want the hive to grow in population and spawn into another hive I put next to it. So we are absolutely going to mark where these bees are. We are not ready for that yet. But we will get there. So that's a good thing. Because they make honey you can use to eat. You can make it into some bandages. It helps. And it's you get wax for candles. Torches burn out over time. Okay, let's go up here. Ooh, more copper. We're gonna dig this way. Alright, so we have copper here. It's most likely going to be a poor copper vein, but when you're starting out and you have nothing, it's you have to start out with something. Now, it's getting dark, so it's time to start thinking about light. Here's another little trick I learned. If you put your cursor on a block, the top of a block, you hold down Shift and Control. You can place your items leaning up against a rock. Because inventory is like a premium in this game. Now I also need some more sticks. Ooh, mushrooms. Alright, if you look at a branch, a block of leaves, and it says maple leaves, it is just leaves. Now you have a chance to get a seed to plant a maple tree. If you look at another one and it says maple branchy leaves, you are going to get a branch stick off of that every time, and you might get seed. So now let's go into our inventory, and we want 2 there and 1 there, and we have our grass. 1, and 2 is, no, I think it's 1. Oh, I'll do this. How about handbook? Okay, 2 sticks and a grass is fire starter, and then 2 grass and 1 stick is a torch. So we can put the torch on the ground. You just have the item selected and you place it. And you get your fire starter, you hold down Shift, and now you have light. And yes, you can put said light in your offhand. Do that using X. Hey Victus, thank you for coming in. Now we have some light, and we can go back and pick up our tools. Ta-da! And here is food. Now, you have to be careful with mushrooms. Some of them are good automatically. Some of them, not so much. I think it's time we made another basket. There we go. You have 4 different places you can go with that. Alright. And a mushroom. And yes, mark where the mushroom spawned, because it will come back eventually. It's always good to look up things in areas where you've already been, especially if you got things marked real well. Ooh. Where'd my stick go? Right here. I hear more bees. Well, we can make a walkway up here. And you can pass through leaves, but not branches. Yes, creepy things come out at night. We're gonna get in here and we're gonna mark this. Oh well, we're just around the other side of the beehive probably. That works. And there are vines. Oh, yep, Tarzan. that you can make into ropes, which can be very helpful. If you look at dirt, you'll see there's different types. That's low fertility, that's forest floor, which basically means all of it is mostly low fertility. There might be some medium fertility mixed in. What you want to eventually find is what's called high fertility, and I have an app for that. All right, go ahead and make another marker for copper. There we go. And yes, I know I'm using a shovel to, cut trees. No big deal. All right, here is a strawberry plant. So we're going to put our marker for berries here. You can always go back to these areas later and check them. Okay. Oh, mushrooms. Oh, look, we have an acorn. Hold down shift, aim it at a place, and plant it. It will grow. Eventually. So, the sooner you put those in the ground, the better. These are almond mushrooms. Let's see if there's any more over here. It can be hard to find sometimes. Now, if you want to find out what is there, you'll put up your inventory. You can put your cursor over any object. It'll tell you it's fresh for 36 days. You get 80 saturation when you eat it, and it is in a category of vegetables. If it had a negative effect and was a bad mushroom, it would tell you how many hit points you are losing, and if it is an over time kind of poison. So always check mushrooms. Eventually, you will get to the point where you'll know a good mushroom from a bad mushroom. Oh, that's the grass. I don't need the grass right now. I do, however, need the more cattails. So we'll head back to the coastline. You don't want to fall in the water because that'll put your torch out. All right. Oh, look, more sticks. And more flint. What we really need, though, right now is more cattails. Ooh, I heard a billy goat. Or a goat. I mean, it'd be a billy goat. Oh, they're in the water, plenty. They're playing in the water. Shame. Okay. I don't see any more. Cattails are always, there's a goat. There's bamboo. It's a good material to build like roofs and such with. Oh, a chicken. You can throw rocks if you want. That's weird. What is making that noise? Might be one of the non-aggressive drifters that's in the game. It's making an alarm. There's a chicken and a baby chick. I don't see any tunnels or anything. But here's an easy way to find anything you can use good. Grass is always in a cross, an X, going against the sides. Crop type things are always right there. And if you look at it, it'll tell you the growth stages of whatever you happen to be looking at. I don't have enough yet, but this is flax. Flax is absolutely a massive, massive product. You're going to want to grow it and grow it and grow it until you can't grow it no more. It gives you grain. It also gives you flax fiber to make string and cloth with. Very, very, very useful. Okay. Oh, look. Is this our red clay deposit? Nope. Clay is also a very important thing. Alright. So we will make a hole in the ground. Mark that. Oh, look, more mushrooms. All right, so we find a new species of mushroom. We take one, put down my knife, pick it up, and we will see. It has no negative effects. So, eat. Put the knife back so we can harvest the rest of these. And look on all of the sides of a tree, because it's very possible, oh, let's see, more are growing on it. And there are always a twin to almost everything. Like, for instance, there is an orange pumpkin. And it's good for you. There's also its evil twin, an orange mushroom called a jack-o'-lantern, which is very bad. You don't want to eat those. And my green bar gets bigger again. Now we need to find some more cat tails. I mean, cattails can be around any source of water. What? What you got, huh? That's right. And there's some soybeans down there and flowers. More soybeans up here. This is a wild beautyberry bush. It's not gonna work for me, but okay. It's flowering, so it'll take like 3.4 days for it to mature enough to where it can be. What? Oh, it's a deer. Oh dear. All right, there's another one, black currant flowering. So we're going to put down a berry bush indicator. We're going to pick up some more copper and mark another source. Hey, there we go. And now if you look at the copper, it says medium in quality. It gives you more the better the quality. And I'm going to change that to medium copper. There we go. And it seems to remember when you select these things, it remembers what you wanted that combination to be called. So that's a good thing. I hear bees again. Oh, look, it's a crab. Oh, Mr. Crab. They're good with butter. But they also hurt. They can hurt you. Little buggers. Right now, everything is supposed to be passive. Now, here's a black currant bush that is ripe. You right-click to harvest. Now, obviously, we do not have an empty space available. So we put down one of our tools. We get the berries. That one's ripe too. And we've gotten 8 berries. Alright, so we get another jump up on our... Oh, we're almost full then. Cool. See, there's so much tucker, as they call it in Australia, all over this place. You shouldn't ever have to die from eating, from not a lack of eating. You shouldn't die from starvation. I mean, some people do. Oh, there's one of my favorite trees. Oh, redwood. Love those things. There's Mr. Crab. Mr. Crab is a, you know, he has no sense of humor. I'll put it that way. Okay. And always look. You get into a little area, you know, don't go very far and look, because there could be you know, a bit of copper or clay. Clay is very important. We haven't found any yet, but we will. And when you're in an area that has soft stones, it's important to have copper, or well, getting to copper. It's important to have flint big time. Because that's the only thing you can make tools out of. Oh, look, and there's more copper. And there's more copper. And there's more copper. And it might be up here too. Oh, okay. We'll do a dig right here. Oh, look at that. Medium copper. How about that? And it automatically puts it in for me. I love that. Alright. I also have a modification that if you hold down Z, you can zoom in. But it's a bad thing if you have a torch in your left hand, because it creates you're going to see the torch blocking your vision. You can only hold it there for a few seconds. Right, now I'm looking for cattails. Stay on target. Yeah. Right. Sure, buddy. Oh, and there's another one of my trees. There's a reason I picked humid. The weather dictates what kind of plants you have around you. Redwoods and bald cypress need a warmer climate with lots of humidity. Got sticks will do bad things to you with them. But berry bush, there is. It's flowering. That one's mature. That one is flowering, and that one is flowering. They look a lot like leaves when you're looking around, so you got to kind of look. You really have to slow down enough to check something out. Oh, there's some mushrooms down there with Mr. Pig. Well, Mr. Pig don't eat those mushrooms. I'm not sure that's a good one. Hang on. Check. See? Minus 2.5 hit points. Yeah, we don't need none of that. Q throws. So we can mark, we don't need to mark these, but we're going to mark them as a, well, here. That's a good one. So we will put a brown mushroom for the ones we like, and a black mushroom for the ones we don't like. It's important to mark them too sometimes. Why is it so windy? It's just a thing. Yeah, I know all the little things. I've been playing this game for a very long time. We get rid of the vines. We don't need them just yet. Where's the other one? What's another one I harvested? I bet it was that hog. Those are bad. Yeah. I bet that hog ate my mushroom. But it's alright. Because we have turnips. Let me bring these down to my hot bar. These are ready to harvest. And you get seeds, but you also get hang on, I'm trying to think and do it at the same time. It's not working what I want. You get seeds that you can plant, and you get vegetables you can eat. But that has to be at a maximum stage growth. Oh, I'm sorry you're having that migraine, baby. I had one yesterday. I want to tell you, it is absolutely no fun. It isn't just, well, I hate those things. We need to mark our turnips with purple. I'm sorry you're having a migraine, Ampy. More of those bad ones. More sticks. Put the sticks down here. Ooh, a ripe blueberry bush. Yes, please. All right. That one is ripe. That one is ripening. So it's almost ready to harvest. And of course there's bees in this area. So we will put a bee marker down. No, I don't want to modify one. I want to put a new one down. Alright. Let's see, there's got to be some more. Look at our mini map there. Let's stay near the coast. More berries. Ripening. Flowering. Mature. And mature. And ripe. Well, we like those. These are cranberry bushes. Each different type of berry has its own unique set of statistics. Like cranberries last probably longer than the black currant berries do, and so forth and so on. Eventually, well, when you go out on one of your walks to explore and pick up whatever you can find, where did I put my knife? Oh, it was right over here somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is. They're going to give you different statistics on different pieces. So it's important to kind of keep an eye on that. We want to eat the one that, gives up the quickest. Obviously, otherwise you'll eat the good stuff and you'll leave the spoiled stuff in your pocket. I haven't run into it yet, but I do have a mod on called Primitive Survival, and it gives you a chance to get worms when you pick stuff up off the ground, and you can use them in fishing. But it also gives you a chance for a snake to be under that thing. So you don't want to walk right up on something and start picking up stuff. You want to get it at a distance. There's some fishes in the water. They have a lot of different. See, that's how the torch gets in your one. Okay. Okay. There's some right there. That's where I want it. Hey there. Oh, have we here? Alright, well, first we have 2 turnips. And then cattails. You get some rest, Amp. I hope you feel better very soon. Alright. I am going to show you a rookie mistake, just so you won't make it yourself. If you crouch in the water, put your torch out. Yep. But that is the reason I kept my fire starter. Because now I can put it back on the ground and light it again. Ta-da! Then you use X, put it back in the offhand. Now we go back to harvesting. I've done that more times than I care to ever remember. I'll be hunting or fishing with a spear, and I will have to crouch to harvest it. And I'll crouch in the water, and I'll have my lamp out. Now, once you get past torches, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Lanterns don't do that. Okay. But if you let me see if I can do this. No, it won't let me do that. I was hoping it would let me put the torch inside my inventory, because if it's in your inventory, it doesn't go out. And we now have enough to make another basket. Two more, actually. There we go. So now I can take this out, put it up here. That will keep it from going out. I can swim with the fishes and not worry about my light source. But there is other reasons for that. If you're holding something in your offhand while you're moving, you are using up your stamina and growing your hunger much more rapidly than you would just walking around normally. Okay, let's see. We need some more of these. And it'll tell you when you look at something and you hit H, it should. Well, you can also source this. Horsetail. How you get it? It drops when you cut the flowers. If you need a tool to do it, it will usually tell you. Yeah, see where it is right there? You use a sickle or a knife to get grass. This one you don't have to have anything specific to do. If it doesn't require a tool, don't waste the tool. And I know I've been doing that very same thing the whole time. I don't always listen to my own advice. Ooh, look at this. This is more gold drop things that are no good right now. I mean, if it's a matter of survival, then you could eat those, and it's only going to take 2.5 hit points off of you. And I've set our hit points to 35. So it's not, the end of the world if you have to do it that way. Okay. I still want more. We are full of baskets, but we can also carry a basket. I want to show you that. It's one of the mods that one of the popular players in the game made. It's called Carry On. And what it is basically it allows you to carry a container on your back. So you can carry a chest. Is that a mist pig? No, that's a moose. I think it's a moose. Caribou. Okay. Yeah. Caribou. They have been adding more and more animals to the game, and some of the mods do that too. Okay. There's kind of a floating island. There's also 2 other water-grown things. Papyrus, which you can use in place of the cattails. And there's another one, I can't remember the name of it right offhand. Um, I can't remember the name. Hey Lisa, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. I really do. I guess I'm going to start actually trying to grow my channel, which is kind of weird, but I never really thought about doing it that way. I started making videos to teach, but not really, that anybody ever does something wrong. But sometimes people will be playing a game and they'll stream it and they'll say, how do you do that? And that's when I started making videos to answer questions. Okay. I still don't see any more. Some out by that island. We can probably get there. Well, I mean, I know we can get there. All right. And they can grow about 3 spaces away from the shoreline. So that's something to be mindful of. Could be one hiding behind bushes or a tree or something. Okay. Now, let's see if I have enough. I do. How about that? Okay, we have a reed chest. And these are items that you will place on the ground. And you can use them for storage. All right. Now, to use the carry-on mod, you have the object on the ground, you have your cursor at it, you hold down shift, and then you right click, and it picks it up. If you want to put it back down, you hold shift and press the right mouse button. Nope, that's sorry. That didn't do it right. Hang on a second. And it goes somewhere else, okay? But you have to have the cursor there to make it work. So if you want to put it on your back, hold the shift, use the cursor, and then you have to have your cursor not on something and hold and press the right mouse button. And now right next to the bar, my hot bar, it shows you that I have something on my back. So that's another way to increase your carrying capacity, which is really big on it. That's the one thing about this game that really needs boosting, but I mean, I know why they do it the way they do it. The carry-on thing is made by a gamer because that's what we wanted. we can go for long walks and collect all manner of stuff. We're swimming, diving, swimming fishies. Fishy, 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 fishy. We'll go fishy hunting later. There are other things in the game. There is wind power, windmills, and they can drive grinding stones or querns. They can also operate a helve hammer for smithing. I mean, there's a ton of detail into this game. See, it lagged a little bit before it let me pick them up. But it's more my laptop than it is their game. And they do have an extensive Discord community. And like I said, there's got to be hundreds, if not thousands, of people that write mods for this game. And, you know, there are mods for castle gates and horse riding. I mean, it's crazy. Oh, don't see anything else. Well, one other thing you want to look for on your walks is if you want to watch for what's called a resin. It's usually leaking out of a pine tree. And as soon as I find one, I'll show you. Oh. And yes, there's fire. You have to have a piece of grass and fuel to create a flame pit. And usually you have to have logs to do it. I don't know if they've changed it yet. One of the things I used to do is create a fire pit, and we might as well go ahead and get all of these while we're out here. Put the grass down, because you hold the shift, you place the grass, and you hold the shift and you place the 4 logs. And that makes it a fire pit. One of the things I used to try to do, and I think it did work, was once you make the fire pit, you open it up, you can take the firewood out and put another source of fuel in there. Because almost everything burns. You can burn your old furniture, you know, whatever comes to your mind, you can burn. We'll go back onto the main island here in a minute. All right. Fishy, fishy, fishy. As you see, the blue bar over my stamina is my oxygen. All right. All right. Well, the only thing we don't have that we need right now is clay. Before you start putting down a permanent base, you really need clay. Trying to break out to the other side of this. I'm going to have to go down here. That must have been that damage from falling. But, I mean, it happens. And that is back around, I think, to our, yeah, that's our spawn. And that's the trader. So I think he was a luxury trader. You know, you got a little wagon there, you could say it's a trader. Now, what we need to do is find clay. Alright, bring up the map. The reason I like the color map is because it gives me an idea where there might be clay. Oh my goodness, Jessica, you rated me. Oh, how sweet of you. I really appreciate that. Yes, I am. I'm totally hyper-focused. I appreciate the raid so much. You guys are awesome. I normally don't do a whole lot of live streaming, but I guess I'm going to start doing it a little more often now. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. We can zoom in and out of our map. And as you can see, there's more land over there. There might be more land here, because the different colors on the map indicate different type of water. Okay, let's get back to what we were thinking of. After a time, you will kind of figure out how to find the clay deposits. I know there's some around here, but it was very little. I think there might be some on here. Yeah, we'll go over there and we'll find it. Okay. That's the trader. He's got his lights on. Okay. So I should probably get my torch back out. E. E. Ooh, look, more sticks. And there's a chance of getting worms from picking up a rock or a stick or something like that. Goes up if it's raining. They go figure that. Because I mean, you do get a better chance of finding worms when it's raining. Okay. Back. Sometimes it's hard to find a path through the wilderness. And you can make ladders and do it that way. Oh, how about the mushroom time? Perfect timing. Okay. Me being so hyper focused, I can't see anything else. All right, where is it? We need to go this way. I know where I want to go. I want to go back to where that flax was. And I know I've also broken one of my other rules, always to mark things. There's a leaky tree. That's resin. And resin is going to be very important for future projects. And I use yellow with a circle, and I've got it set to where it says leaky tree. Because that's what I call it, leaky tree. And we have, death caps. No, I'll show you what they say. You don't want them. Minus 50 hit points. You eat one, you die. That's all I gotta say. Let me back to inventory and make it to where I can throw this mushroom. I don't want it near me. It's bad. Bad. Very bad for us. There is the blue grain.
Alright. You know, it is copper, we just don't know how good it is. Okay. Ripe. Black currant bushes. Okay. All right. Flax is right below us. And since we have temporarily maxed out our ability to pull things around, we can go ahead and harvest some of this. Alright, now you get flax grain, which you eat. You can make it into bread, whatever. The string is the important thing. If you hover your mouse over one and press H, it says you're obtained by killing or harvesting all these different types of things, or you can obtain it this way, and it's the ingredient for twine. That is the base ingredient for a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, and if you're in the handbook, you can click on an item and it will tell you how you get that, and it's what its ingredients are for. All this stuff you can't make without the string. And now it tells you how to make it right here. Four twines make a string. Let's see. There it is. A piece of linen takes 4 strings, and it goes linen. And if you use tongs on a linen square, you get notched linen. Why do you want notched linen? Click on it and find out. Oh, it didn't say. Where is it? And that says normal linen? Normal linen. Okay. Oh, it's this. It's different. It's I don't know. There's just different things you can make with it. But the basic thing for string is linen, which helps you go into a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay. Alright, let's see here. That one's not quite done yet. That one is. Now you can take the chance to do the ones that are not fully matured, and you have a chance of getting a seed from them. I don't like the odds. I want the whole farm. So I only I mark the location, and I only pick what's right. The lamb. The silence of the lambs. Let's see. That's the direction we want to go.
last I remember, we were heading towards the island to check for clay. I will pick up some extras of these, because I don't have my bandages yet, which I should. And I've shown you how to put a container on your back. I haven't gone through the other half of that. Alright, you have to have nothing in your left hand, because it takes both hands to do it. And you have to have an empty slot on your hot bar. Alright, you hold down shift and you get the box off your back. And then you put it down somewhere. Then you can open it. Open your current inventory, and you can put whatever you've got in there that you don't need to be carrying around. Like I have a full stack plus some of dirt. I don't need both of those there. So I now have that full, and I'm gonna have to do that. Now it's back on my back. Grain is obviously much better for you as, you know, something that you've cooked. Lobster! These are good. This is the other side of a jack-o'-lantern. So we're definitely going to mark these. And they're usually in large groups. Yeah, what's the other one here? Death caps. No, you don't even want to pick those. They're bad juju. All right. Let's got a few more up here. Yep. I'm glad they made it easier to pick up the things that you knock down. All right, let's get some more here while we're on our way over there. Doing good, doing good. Hey, Coco, thanks for being here, man. Oh, I'm grateful for lurkers. I do enough of it myself. That's for sure. Okay. Stick. Almond mushroom is good. So, we'll put another mushroom marker down. We can eat some of the ones we picked. So once you've established yourself in a base, I mean you're good to go from that point out. That's all there is to it. Once you start
getting into the farming aspect. It's a lot more work, but that work will sustain you for your ability to go and do other things. Ripening. And you have to be careful walking around a hole in the ground, because there could be the potential for a cave-in. No cave-ins yet. That's good. I really don't want to show you a cave-in because it hurts. They're right. Awesome. Ooh, those are onions, I think. Yep, onions. And everybody uses their own version of the shorthand. Marking your map that's the thing. It's something you do. And if you look, there's a bear. That's a bad juju, mama. It's a big brown bear. And that stuff in those rocks is probably brown clay, but it's brown coal. That's flint. Which I can pick up loosely on the ground almost everywhere. So I don't really worry about getting it too much. Although there are some areas that are low on flint. Look at all that. Oh, look, the crab is climbing up the wall. Okay. And what happens when you land in the water? Yeah. If you fall from a sufficient height to cause you to go all the way down, they have the physics in there. Okay. I have my components. Now, the first time you didn't see this. You max out at 14 or 16. If you don't have them in the correct order, you can't use it. All right. See, eating food gets some of your health back, but the bandages will do a better job. And it's not immediate. You see the green is where I will be once I'm fully healed. And you got to hold down the right key to use the bandages, which is fine. It works. And you can dive under and find things.
really doesn't seem like there's much else on this little rock. And that's fine. Ooh, look at that. Is that on our map yet? It is. Oh, look at that. These areas are clay. So we have now located something we need to establish our base. So we're going to go for it. Swimming, swimming, swimming. How you doing today, Coco? This is borax and native copper. What quality? Medium. Okay. Hope you're well, Cliff, my friend. Okay. Might as well kind of explore these little islands while we're moving out towards the other island or continent or whatever it is. I guess you just call all these islands. Some of them are bigger than others. Okay, let's see. Alright, we just go. And we can dive down. There's a mod that has alligators in it. I don't think I have a particular one loaded. I don't think there's any nasties in the water. Looks like it'd be an interesting little island to explore. Defend this land in the name of mayhem. Okay. Oh, look. Copper. That's not why I came here, but I'll take it. All right. Copper. Now, back on task. I wanted clay. I also want bamboo. One of the early tricks I learned was it's easy to spot things that are not grass. Grass is in a diagonal pattern. Everything else is in a square. So if you see a square patch of green in the distance, it's not grass. Don't see any, don't see any, don't see any. That's quartz. And there sometimes quartz will be embedded with gold or silver. Oh, look at this. These are papyrus. It's the other ones you can use and exchange. I don't particularly relish eating this way. No, it's not going to let me. Alright. I'm going to have to make a fire and cook it. And like I said, with this game being strictly for exploration purposes, I made it to where you don't drop your inventory if you do die. I see some grains. Did I pass it? I don't think I did. Oh, there they are. Nope, I haven't gotten that yet. Getting that That is rice. See any of it ready. But it's a good sign there might be something else close by. Speaking of which, there it is. Yeah, I'm not going to get anything out of it other than seeds if it's not finished. But I will mark it. I need a tree. Or a berry bush. Anything really. There's some grain right there. Light. Oh no! I'm dying of hunger. Right after I told everybody you wouldn't die from hunger. There. All right. Ooh, look at that. That looks like a trader. Or it's an old ruin. It's a ruin. Huh. Interesting. Huh. I'll have to look into that. I think that's part of one of the mods I've added is called Better Ruins. That is an avalanche. And you don't want to do it. You have that in your area, and you have a safe way to trigger it by removing a block or adding a block. It will make it go away. I see a thing. There we go. Now, when you cut a tree down, it cuts the whole thing down. Put your axe in your menu, put the log in there, and it only gave me 3. That's not right. Well, we'll do this one. But when you're cutting down a tree, you're literally cutting down everything of that tree. All the branches that are attached to it, everything, okay? So it's now. Right click to open the fire. We will put my meat in there. And light the fire. Come on. It's just annoying, it makes that silly noise. We almost have a piece done. And as you can see, it doesn't really give us a lot. My biggest problem right now is I'm using a lot of my time explaining things while I'm doing it. Alright, so we have a fire pit right here. So, red circle, and we're going to put a campfire. And that way I can remember where that fire is when I need it again. Now, our original target was to find clay. That is red clay. That is probably also red clay. So we will mark the location, and if you're not sure what it is, but it's a thing you want to find out about, put a question mark in the name, pin it, and make it a bright color. Ta-da! Now, out of the map, if you look at your mini map, around the edge, we usually to see those two icons I have. One is spawn, the green one, and the yellow one is where I want to go investigate. There it is. More papyrus. And you can hunt. There's all manner of creatures to hunt. Deer and moose and goats and bears and rabbits and wabbit season and chickens. But you can also raise some of these animals. The wild boars can be domesticated to a certain extent. Look at that. Soybeans are okay, but you've got to soak them or prepare them to use them. Okay? I'll show you. It says it's perishable in 8.6 or 6.8 years, and you can't eat it. You gotta soak it or do something with it. Let's do handbook. After 3.7 years on average. Now to make pickled, you've got to soak them in water, I think it is. I don't remember exactly. It's eaten by goats and sheep. So you can feed animals with it, and it has a long duration. But it's just, it requires preparation for us to eat the stuff. There's clay right there. Red clay. All right. This is going to take a lot out of me to do this. Okay. So, I'm going to show you how to do this. Since I'm kind of behind on all my collecting anyway. You press the / and it opens up your chat window. Game mode. space C. Now you are in creative mode. Nothing on your inventory is going to be there. When you press E, you get the creative mode inventory. So just type in meat. Cooked red meat. There, I'll do half a stack. That ought to get me out of this. And remember to go back to game mode. S. Where is it? E. I don't remember. No, it's right. Survival is basically, exploration mode is just a slightly altered version of survival mode. Alright, there we go. So now we've got that taken care of. Need to... Alright. So now we can start collecting clay. And this is where your civilization starts. Because there's a lot of different things that have to happen in a certain sequence for you to be able to sustain yourself. Finding clay and making it into usable objects is one. Smithing is definitely another one. Like I said, they have to be done in pretty much a specific order. You've got to have clay to form certain objects in fire pits or the kilns, which is basically a hole in the ground with stuffed with a raw clay object, grass, branches, and logs, and light it on fire, and it will harden whatever you have in there. Once you have that, you have to get a I'm losing my words to that. I apologize. Some days I just can't think straight. The thing that blacksmith uses to make metals. I know what I can do is I can try to look it up. A forge. That's the word I was looking for. That's what you need. That's what you need for a forge. You need cobblestone block, and it can be any cobblestone block. And in order to make cobblestone blocks, you just need regular rocks with, I think it's just clay. Yeah, you can just use any clay to make those blocks. But what you also have to make charcoal, and that is a time-consuming process. You dig a hole in the ground, you fill it up with wood logs, you leave one space open for a fire and you cover the rest up. And when you light the fire, you immediately block off the oxygen supply and it will create coal. I mean, you also saw there was brown coal where that bear was. But you can get it from natural sources. But you have to have certain level tools to mine certain types of things. So it's a learning curve and it's a learning process for you to be able to get to a point where you can do whatever you want to build. That's one of the things I like about this game so much. It's challenging. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's exactly 4 stacks. Alright, so that's us. I really would like to be accessing trees near where I build my camp. I mean, trees are essential in building anything. Okay, we are here. What is that? That's an interesting object. That's a trader or an outpost. There are ruins everywhere that you can find. So like right here, this is a ruin of probably an old castle. Like this here, that's probably red clay. This might be blue clay. And these are clay deposits. You can usually see them from above. Let's see. Wow, there are like no trees over there. Let's go down here. We're going to delete that one. That might be where I just dug all the clay. Yeah. Let's mark that. That's red clay. And we'll go down here and see about setting up a small camp. We are pretty much full. Green bamboo. There's some more growing rice. We'll mark it for future reference. Yes, thank you. Charcoal pit. Oh my god. I was having such a hard time. So do you play this, Coco, on a regular basis? All right, See, now we're in a different area. We've got slate, stone everywhere. And there's more red clay right here. These are fern trees, and when you harvest them, you get firewood, basically. And you can harvest whatever level you want. Now, this one is standing right next to this one. So let's see what happens with this. It cut everything that was touching that tree. Only thing it wasn't touching was the bottom. That definitely looks like a meteor strike. You can get meteoric iron, which is different than regular iron, and you can progress like all the way up to steel. It's a very, very involved process, but it's doable. Absolutely doable. We have room for 3 more. These others too close to each other, maybe. All right. So we now have 2 stacks of firewood. And this that's a purple heart. Most of this is supposed to be kapok. That is a good tree right there. I like the rare trees. All right. Now, another thing we need to have near our base is water. Ooh, that's a grave marker. Past civilizations use this area for their own purposes. Okay, so what we're going to do we're going to start with a relatively small charcoal pit. One stack of logs is 1 high. All right, Coco, thanks for being here, man. I'll see you later. So that's 2 stacks. All right, we need another axe. I always make my charcoal pit before I start doing my clay because it takes time for the charcoal pit to do its thing. Okay. Ah, crap. There. And there. And that. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's. Okay, we're getting there. It takes a lot of gameplay and work to get to a really good start. But to me, that's the challenge. That's the great thing of it. All right, now, where did I put it? Right over here. I have to mark that somehow. There. My pit volume monolith thingy. Okay. Almost. All right. And there's my pillar. Let's see. Do I have enough to make another basket? I do. How about that? All right, so what we're going to do, we don't want our stuff anywhere near the fire because fires spread. Torch over, put it down, get our other box out and put it down. Okay. I can use that. And stick that there. You can have multiple containers open at any given time. I guess we'll put those in here. Okay. Now, I need that so I can see. Otherwise, it's too dark. Now, let's go ahead and make a couple of axes. Oh, and here's a different way. You can hold down the shift key or what is it? Tab? No. There's a way that you can do it differently. I never did it that way, so I'm having a hard time. You can do rock napping the way I'm doing it, which is you move your cursor around to break off the pieces you want broken off. There's also another way of doing it where you can hold the key down and just simply move the cursor. You don't have to move everything. All right. Make a good sized charcoal pit. The ones I usually make are 3x3 by 3. When I was in a community server, we had a huge one, and once we made it, there was literally so much charcoal available, we didn't have to make another one. We just opened up the top of it, and people would take the coal as they needed it. But I think there is a maximum size. I'm not sure what it is, but. Okay, let me have this, and we're gonna put that. Okay, now that will allow me to fill up my inventory with firewood and let me know when it's done. All right, we are making progress fast. No, I've never really used the fern trees before. I'm sure there's something to raising them and so forth. I have not seen a sapling. It's probably right in front of my face and I don't even know it. me see. Well, I don't see. I'll have to go into the book and see what I can find out about if you can farm these. So one of the biggest things I do when I'm a community server is I'm the one that does the tree farm, because that's one of the biggest jobs in the thing is managing the forestry. And I like it. I'm good at it, I guess so. All right. If you ever in Vintage Story, all you need to survive is a stack of flint, a stack of branches or sticks, and a stack of dirt. And you can go anywhere and get out of anywhere to find whatever you're looking for. Ooh, there's a rooster nearby. That's good. Eventually, we're going to have to have, husbandry. You can raise animals up, and as they grow in age of generation of captivity, they get more domesticated. And like I said, there are so many mods on this game that it's got its own page, literally. But every time they update the game, you have to go through your list of mods and check and see if there are new versions of those mods. But sometimes most of the time they don't work with the new version. There may be a certain little piece of code or something they've got to change, and they put out updates of all the mods. So, and installing the mods is so easy. You will have absolutely no. It's going to blow your mind how easy it is. All right, how close are we? Huh? We're getting there. That's what I was hoping for. You time where your tool, where it was out, at exactly the time you need that space. That's like, it's like I love it when a plan comes together, you know? Well, one of the reasons I started laying this, Teresa, is I want to expose some of our community to it and put together a group and run a server. It'll be a whitelisted server for us only. I don't know a lot about how they run, but I know there are places you can pay to run your server for you, basically. All right, let's see if I have enough to do what we want to do. All right. When you're hovering over something, it'll show you the places on the ground. You just simply hold the shift key. Okay, and when you're looking over a stack of it, you can ignite it. You can add one by shift and right clicking. You can remove one by right clicking. You can add 8 at a time by holding shift and control down and right clicking. And if you want to remove more than one at a time, you hold control down and right click. I think it'd be great because it would give everybody some kind of a challenge. They could build something and it would be around for a long time. So that's what I'm hoping for anyway. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger since I have the wood. Back up. All right. Now, there's our trick. Hold shift with grass in our hand, and we plot down. Now, it says it's a fire pit. And if you look at the very top center, now you add the 4 logs, and now it is a charcoal pit. And that's what you're looking for. Let me put my flaming. You can use the fire starter or just a torch, but you got to be quick. The sooner you block off that air supply, the better. So I'm going to do this. I do for 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003. It's lit and it's blocked. Now it's going to take quite a bit of time for this to do its thing. And you see the smoke coming up? That tells you it's lit and it's doing a good thing. All right. On the other side of this tomb area is where I put all my stuff. So now we're going to show you how to make clay forms. We can clear off a bunch of this grass. We're going to need it anyway. So far, all I've used is stone tools, you know. Let's see here. Pardon me a second. We got a message up here to respond to. Okay. That's funny. I'm sorry. I got a text message from my daughter's groomer. She has one of her dogs there, getting her nails cut and that kind of thing. And they always send a animated gift to me, and they've got the dog talking, saying, "Mommy and Daddy, I'm done as a groomer. So you can come and get me." Oh, crazy. Anyway, because of that, I'm gonna have to call this off for now. I will definitely be playing it later. Hi, Executor. Excuse me. Welcome back, Victus. I'm nowhere near enough subscribers for any kind of a raid. Let's see who's playing something. Lizzie is playing it. Let's see. Oh, it's hard to find people that are on. Lizzie's the only one I see that's on. So let me get her link. Okay. There we go. Alright, that should be a link to Lizzie's play. Go ahead and she'll be my first actual raid under Mayhem. But don't worry, there'll be a lot more of this coming in the future. I really appreciate all y'all being here, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you very much.